Okay, secondly, and this is where participles get somewhat confusing, you'll recall that they're verbal adjectives, but sometimes they're translated as nouns. Okay, so that's kind of confusing, but if you understand the literal translation, that then gets sort of dynamically represented as a noun, you can understand how it's functioning literally as an adjective. So let me try to explain that. Here's a passage from later on in Genesis. This is, I didn't put the reference on, it's from Genesis 1 verse 28. And you won't get to this, but some of these words are familiar to you, and then the rest I'll tell you what they are. So uvchol, which you know exactly from the Shema, uvchol, and overall, uvchol haya. So this is the part on the sixth day when God is talking about what the humans just created will do. They will rule. The word is rada. That's the verb, rada. They will rule. Uvchol, and overall, haya, which is the word living, and here it's the noun living being, or living beings, or beasts. It's kind of used for the beasts of the field. And it's a collective noun here, so it's feminine singular, you can see from the comments, hey, but it's referring to all the beasts of the field, in the same way that behema is a singular noun, but it refers to cattle or domesticated animals as a collective noun. So, and overall, the beasts, ha-romesit. So it's a feminine noun, and so this is our participle, which is also feminine, ha-romesit, because it's modifying, it's an adjective that's modifying the noun, haya, living being, or beast of the field. Okay, and the word romes means to creep. And so this one you'll see has the definite article attached. Participles are the only verbal forms that can have the definite article attached to them. Now, it doesn't always have the definite article attached, right? Here it doesn't, but it can. And when it does have the definite article attached, it almost always will be translated this way, as a noun or as an adjectival phrase. Okay, so when you see a participle, you know it's a participle because it's got this holum. It's a pa'al participle, or a kal participle, because it's got the holum between the first and second root letters. You know this is the definite article because it's a hey, followed by a comets, followed by a guttural. Generally, the definite article is a hey, followed by a patach, followed by a dagesh forte in the next letter, right? But because the resh is a guttural, it rejects the dagesh, which causes compensatory lengthening, which is the previous vowel lengthens here from a patach to a comets as a way of compensating for the rejected dagesh forte. Okay, so hey followed by comets, that's our definite article. Romesit, and this has that somewhat peculiar feminine singular participle ending. It's got the segol tav ending followed by, or preceded by another segol. Et, ha-romeset. Okay? So here's our pa'al, feminine singular participle. Literally means the creeping one. Okay? So the definite article, of course, gives you the, and the word, the root, resh, mem, seen, means to creep or to crawl. It's those creepy crawlies. Here, because it's a participle, and because it's modifying the previous noun, which is feminine singular, you know it's the beasts, the creeping ones. Now I'm translating it plural because this is a collective noun. But it would be, literally, it's living being, or living beasts, let's say, the creeping one. Okay, so the creeping one, you have to add this word one to when making a literal translation. And creeping, therefore, functions adjectivally to modify one. Do you see that? So that's how the participle functions in the sentence as an adjective, modifying the beast. What kind of a beast? It's a creeping beast, a creeping animal, a creeping whatever. Being, okay? So, and they will rule over all the beasts, the creeping ones, all ha'aretz, upon the earth. Okay, so now we generally will translate this as a noun instead of saying the creeping ones. We'll maybe say, we could translate it as a verb, I guess, the beasts that creep. But we could also translate it as the creeper, the creepers, the creepy crawlers, something like that. The beasts, the creepy, you could translate this whole phrase as the creepy crawlers. Or something maybe a little bit less informal. But hopefully you're kind of getting the sense. Another example, it comes from 1 Samuel when David is sent by Yishai, Jesse, his father, to go to the battle where Goliath is, to check on his brothers. And so he brings all this stuff with him, food and all the supplies he's going to give to his brothers, and he leaves them with the Shomer HaKelim. Shomer HaKelim. Kelim is the word it's kind of like the word for things, containers, and weapons. It's a very contextual word. It sort of means instrument, something like that. So it could be an instrument of war, it could be an instrument of storage, it could be baggage, cargo on a boat, the instruments of the boat or cargo or whatever. But anyway, here it's Shomer HaKelim. Now, Shomer is a participle. O, you get the Shomer, the holum comes between the first and second consonants. And it's a word that you have in your vocab. It's the keeper of the containers or the things. The keeper of the supplies. And that's the person that David leaves his cargo with, the keeper of the cargo. Shomer HaKelim. And so that's translated there as a noun, which is actually an example from number 3 in the textbook on page, 108 of participles functioning in construct chains. Which would have a translation as a noun as well. So hopefully that's helpful for you, and that's participles.